And we are live. It's Tuesday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Natasha Makes. I'm not Natasha. I'm a fair bit shorter for a start. My name's Gemma Pinfield Thomas. Good morning. And Natasha is feeling a bit, well, rubbish today. You probably heard her yesterday. She was a little bit snotty. She's caught one of those there colds from young Freddie. So today she sounds like Mariella Frostrup. I have told her she could have a job. Got some chuckling in the corner. No prizes for guessing who. I've told her she should do the M&S adverts. You know, those ones where they say, this isn't just any chocolate pudding. Yeah, that would be Natasha today.
It's a how much chocolate pudding?
I know, yes. It's a how much chocolate pudding. But on the understanding that you probably don't want to be around someone who's a bit snotty. You've not been very well yourself this year, have you?
We're trying to avoid it like the
Chuckling person in
plague.
the corner. And also to give her a little rest. I'm going to step in and present the show today. So thank you, hello, and good morning. I'm going to see if anyone can actually see us, John. It's always a good idea to check that we can be seen and heard and that we're not just talking to ourselves. Oh, Jimmy's here, says good morning, Gemma, so that's a good old sign. Jimmy's all the way in that there Australia, John, so we must be live.
Indeed.
It's not just, you know, my big, loud Brian Blessed of the crafting world voice, as Natasha calls it, carrying all the way over there.
Oh my.
Natasha once told me that I didn't need a microphone because I was like the Brian Blessed of the crafting world.
Wow.
I know.
You've been friends for how long?
25 years plus, I know. It's quite rude, isn't it? Good morning, Julia. Hello. Great stuff. Well, good morning and welcome to Natasha Makes. We have a very special guest this morning who's not very good at keeping a secret because, you know, he's chuntering away in the corner. It's the very mischievous and very fabulous John Cole Morgan. John, we're going to be finishing off your summer quilt today.
I'm so excited.
Just as well, because it's Christmas in a month.
I know, but we also, but not just that one.
I know.
We got our Christmas sparkle.
We have got the sparkly Christmas quilt. So we've got some very exciting things to show you first. But today's show, John, is going to be doing the finishing kit for the lovely summer quilt, which has been our Block of the Month project this year. And then you can finish it off and have it ready for next summer. He also is going to let you have a look at his sparkly Christmas quilts because we had this as a pre-record the other Wednesday when lovely Jane needed a holiday because we have to let her have some time off sometimes. And unfortunately, that show didn't go to air as it should have done on Facebook, which was a bit of a disaster. So being as John's here, we're going to let you have a look at, it said, very beautiful sparkly Christmas quilt. In 2 colourways, have a little peep at that. But if you want to catch up on the demo, that show is, as always, in our archives and can be viewed at any time. Oh, look! Claire Angelina says, there you are, I had to search for you again. I'm here. Morning, ladies, and John received my Christmas calendar yesterday. Oh, your Advent's arrived, that's brilliant.
I got mine too this morning.
Did.
It's very heavy.
Did. There's lots of goodies in there.
Very heavy.
There's a lot of goodies in there. Oh, look, and Becky says, a lovely sunshine in the Cotswolds. I live not far from the Cotswolds. It wasn't bad this morning when I got up. And Davy says, good morning, John and Gemma. Oh, it's nice to have you all with us. That's great. Oh, poor Tash, hope she's better soon. Instead, we have the fab twosome of Gemma and John. There's always some mischief when John's on. That's all I'm going to say.
Don't know what you're talking
Well,
about.
I've made sure there's no balloon wands around today because there was that time where I was trying to very sensibly talk to camera and you were just in the background wafting balloon, like
I
bubbles
waft
everywhere.
very well, thank
You do
you.
waft well. You do waft well.
Decades of
We've got
practice.
lots of people here this morning.
Yay,
want to say
morning.
hello to you. I know, it's so lovely. Thank you for joining us. And yes, Natasha is okay. She's okay.
Oh, she's fine.
She's all right. She's just snotty and a bit disgusting and she can be busy doing things
It
in the
could be
warehouse.
worse. She could have man flu. That's going to be terrible for her.
I know.
Is Freddie okay now?
I think he's pulling through.
But man flu is real and he's got it so young. We've got to worry about him.
You are silly. But it's so true. I mean, and it's with everything as well. In our household, you know, Guy at the weekend, bless him, last week, John, he bashed his toe. And he took the skin off the top of his toe. And it's been the end of the world. And he had to go to Kent for a couple of days with work. And he got back and I said, how are you doing now? You all right? Oh, I think you're going to have a look at my toe. I think it might need bandaging. I was like, really? He said, yeah, I think the skin's dying. Dying, Guy? Yeah, you know, the bit that I scraped back. I said, what, the dead bit of skin that we flopped back over to act as a little plaster? That should be dying. That's the whole point. oh, but I'm not sure. I said, Guy, are you worried you need a skin graft? And he said, do you think
Your
so?
sympathy is
No,
overwhelming.
I don't think so. Oh, it's honestly, it's sore. It is sore. But I cleaned it really well with chlorhexidine.
I dread to think what that is. That doesn't sound
it's
pleasant.
Brilliant. Use it in electrolysis, but it cleans everything. So
In what?
Electrolysis. I'm qualified in electrolysis.
Really?
So
You are a
to clean
master
the
of many
skin-
talents.
Well, you'd use it in a hospital as well to clean the skin, so it's quite stingy. But it made it sure it's very, very clean, and then I said get plenty of air to it and let it dry out. Nurse Gemma. Please don't take medical advice from me, I'm not a medical professional. Anyway, other things we have going on this morning. Here she is. Good morning, Beryl. Our infinity scarf. Everyone loves an infinity scarf, John.
They do? They're
just do.
amazing.
And we put together a bundle. Natasha was wafting it around yesterday of 3 different starry fabrics. There was a mustard coloured one, a natural and a black. And you really liked that. You liked it so much it disappeared really quickly. So I said yesterday in the evening, these will go by the morning. We better make sure there's an alternative option. And I quickly whipped up. And when I say quickly whipped up, these make up really fast a new colourway. So that's on the website today. Yesterday, Natasha was making hair scrunchies.
I saw that. They were really
Yeah.
good. Big
These make a
debate about
match.
the whole man-woman scrunchy
Wow.
thing.
I think there is a movement of men that wear a scrunchie.
Well, I think it's just, I think there's a great movement at the moment. Men are doing more things that they've always wanted to do, and I love it. I think it's great.
And you know, if you've got hair, it's up to you, isn't it? What you do with it, for sure.
Exactly.
You sound like a nurse. Sounds like my style of man nursing, says Julia. I'm glad to hear it. I just think it's some tough love. If we pander too much, he gets upset. But yes, back to, actual work things. These here, very beautiful. Very easy to make. Great makes for Christmas. And you can make the scrunchies from yesterday's show to match. What's not to love, John?
Exactly.
But that bundle is up today. The instructions are separate, so you can choose whether you have the printed or the digital version, all in today's collection. And the other thing as well is so many of you have got the instructions now that we've just put these fabric kits out. They are 3 fat quarters. So if you look at this and think, well, actually, I'd like to make little gift bags or something else that's a fat quarter make, and there's been many fat quarter makes with us over the time that we've been here, you can use it for that instead.
That's funny.
But it's there at a great deal.
I've never seen one.
Fat quarters, my eye. What do you like?
That just reminds you all, do check out the YouTube pages because there's so many gorgeous videos on there with so many demos.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's just one of the fabulous things we have today. We also have a beautiful Lisa Chandler bundle. And the reason that we've brought this in, we imported some Lisa Chandler fabric. I'm going to pop into overhead in a moment so you can have a look. This particular fabric had been out of stock, and it was the one we used to make this rather beautiful bag here, which is our twisted, oh hang on, this might not be the twisted knitting. Oh, this might be the pin tuck one. I will grab later the pattern and make sure it's loaded into today's collection. But it was used to make this. You can see the border is really versatile. Natasha's put it with 2.5 meters of the fans in a matching colour. Which of my many tech buttons do I need to press now, John? There we are. Crikey bobs. So this is a 60 centimetre increment. That is the pattern repeat. So you get 1 full pattern repeat there and 2.5 meters. I've got a little discount on that today. I thought that was a bit bonkers because these sell at a rate of knots, and we already have the Lisa Chandler at a price that is lower than we should. That will be revised soon. This is beautiful premium fabrics. These are made in Japan. The metallic on them is stunning. I think John will verify the quality of Lisa Chandler is off the scale. But it was you who introduced Tash to Lisa, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, Lisa's amazing. I love her to
Come on.
bits.
Look at me pressing the button, John. And
But her designs are so beautiful.
I know, and you've got the Waratahs and just beautiful.
But you don't even need to know the names of the flowers just to see the beauty of this fabric. And the metallic on it is, so elegant and soft and subtle. It's gorgeous.
These borders are so versatile as well. You can make little pouches out of the top row. We've done this before with our nesting trio. We need to make sure we pull that one back actually at some point and show you that because it's very beautiful. But needless to say, this fabric in your stash, you will never run short of ideas of what to do with it.
But you see, my problem with her fabric is I have quite a lot of Lisa in my stash, but it's one of those fabrics that you buy and you're like, yeah, I'm not cutting that. It's a stroker. It's a stroker.
Do you know, I do this though. I buy 2 because I get 1 to stroke and keep, and keep it nice, and I make myself use the other
Yep.
one. Because it's the only way, John. Otherwise, you do exactly that.
Exactly. But for me, I've recently discovered a brand new fabric range called Jewelscape.
Oh.
And it's exactly that. I bought a bundle, put it in my stash, and then went and bought yardage to go and use because it's so beautiful.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Beryl's Infinity Scarf, that is her fabric bundle there. Very beautiful. Again, Ruby Star for Moda.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful quality, aren't they? And the one thing we do need to show, John, because you're a fan of her salvage.
Oh yeah, they're
just
dreadful, aren't
how
they?
beautiful their salvages are. And if anyone's wondering why on earth we'd care what a salvage looks like, just Google salvage projects.
See, my
have used
favourite
to make
one still is the
bags.
bookcase quilt, where you use the salvages to put down as your book names.
Well, that's clever. That's really clever.
It's really
I thought you
good.
were going to say it's the shelves, but no, it's the book names. That's amazing. Look at that. They're beautiful, these.
They're so pretty.
Very nice. Very nice. John, I have then something rather exciting to
Well,
show
I'm so
that I
glad you're
think-
finally coming to this bit because
I
I've
think
just
I might
realised
need your help with
they're going to be on the website and I haven't had a chance to look on the website
No,
yet.
John got
So
stuck
Gemma,
into
bear with me
rather
while I look on the
horrific-
website as
Oh,
to what's...
look at him. You're not asking him to
Oh my
match
God,
your
I
work.
made that one!
You
How
did.
much? You can't
Right.
sell these for that price!
All right, I argued with Tash over this.
What?
Okay, if you're wondering what the uproar is about, you've been asking us for a really long time to perhaps sell some of our samples. So we've pulled a little few today. A lot of our samples we keep, we use them ourselves, we have them for display purposes, they're fabrics that we stock. But when we make something many, many times, with the best will in the world, we don't need multiple samples. Or perhaps it's something that's in fabrics that we're not going to have again, we won't be bringing to wear again, or we'll be making it in another colourway. And it sits in very beautiful plastic boxes in departments at the back of the warehouse. And it does seem a bit of a waste. So you've been saying to us for a long time that you'd like us to bring you some samples. Natasha and Jane do this cringing thing where they go, oh, but they're just samples and oh no, and no one will want them. And I tell them shush. So we agreed yesterday that we would bring some samples to air this morning and that you'd have the opportunity to purchase, which would be really nice.
Oh my God, 2 have already gone.
Have they really?
Can I just say something now? I am looking at this website while Gemma is talking over there. There is a quilt, okay? Now, I don't know. First of all, natashamakes.com. natashamakes.com. Just click
gonna
on the
post
little
the
banner.
link.
While you do that, look on the banner at the top, swipe it to Tuesday. There's a little thing at the bottom there. Tap that and scroll down. There is a K-facet exotic stripe with shot cotton for $49.99. The woman's lost her mind.
made as
And it's made. It's fully
Yeah.
made. And more importantly, it's bound. It's already
it's
bound.
done. It's done. What I need to say
Andrew would
about
murder me.
what I need to say about the samples, what's really important to say, I'm just posting the link, everybody, so you can see where to find the products, because I'm doing all the things today, my job and everything. Here we go.
She did half
What
of
I
them.
must say about these samples, and Natasha was very clear on this, was that the samples are made before a show or sometimes during a show. So to that end, they may be complete or they may have a little skiddly bit of stitching or some threads that need snipping or something that just needs finishing off. They are not made for perfection, but they are made to get them ready for the show. This is all her wording. I look at these things and think, wow, they look fabulous and I'd be so proud if I made these items. Same with Jane. But they both say, well, we've had to make these quickly, whether it's for a show or on a show. So these are sold as seen, non-refundable, non-returnable, with the understanding that they are sample items, that they are made with love. But John is still scrolling.
Sorry, I am
can
listeing to
see
you,
what
Gemma.
You're adding to basket.
They are in my basket.
You can't. Put your phone down.
What do
Come
you
on.
mean? They're
I
there to be
need you
sold.
Come and help me. You've got to work. Come on. Come on.
I'm going to lose
If
it
they're
now. I
available
know I'm on to-
later, then you can buy them then. He's going to be so cross with me.
You've been talking to my husband, haven't you?
I'm going to put one.
Am I really needed?
Let me find the one that you've mentioned first, John.
Oh my gosh, it's
The quilt.
amazing.
I'm going to put it on the desk, and then I'm going to go into overhead, and then you.
No,
can
I can't come and help you, Gemma. I've got to go on the
No,
website.
you can.
$49.99
All right.
for that.
All right, and look, this one's done. This one's done, and it's beautifully bound and
But
everything is done.
now, what you can't see on this is
Pricing-wise,
no.
this is
Before you
all
go
down
any
to
further,
Nash.
before you go any further, the border is shot cotton. So
Yes.
what happens there is you've got a
Harissa.
different colour thread going on the, and I always get warp and weft confused. So you got warp is one colour and the weft is another. So it's almost an iridescent,
Yeah.
beautiful orange on the edges. And then it's got that gorgeous mustard going the other way. So when it moves, you've got this iridescence on it, and it is beautiful.
The pricing's all down to Natasha, and she's literally looking at what the fabric cost to sell out. You know, that was it.
Yeah.
Which is, and you know, the wadding and all the bits and bobs.
That is
so we've looked at
amazing.
roughly what the material cost would be to purchase those materials, and she's not added anything in on a lot of these, and in fact some of them are less than they should be, because
Well, she's
there's
giving
no
back.
accounting for time, there's no accounting for thread, there's
At
no
that price, you're not accounting for the
electricity.
fabric.
And if Jane's made it, there's no accounting for the staffing costs. John, I have had this conversation with her.
Pointless.
She is,
But she's always giving back to the
hopeless.
community, which
and
is
she
so
says,
lovely.
I just don't want to look like I'm taking the mickey, and I just want people to have an opportunity
it's
to have
beautiful.
something, and then, you know.
But imagine that as a beautiful Christmas gift. It's stunning,
Try
right?
working for her.
Am I
She's-
coming to help you? That if I
Yes,
can
you
get off
are.
this chair?
Come on.
I think I've
You
broken
need
your
to come
chair.
and see. I think I've broken your chair.
Hello,
John.
hello.
There we go.
You won't
Look
like
at
it. You won't like it.
that.
Oh, it's
It's
beautiful.
a beauty, isn't it?
That's really pretty.
I know, right?
I wonder if I can show the iridescence on the uplight. There you go. You can see that little orange popping
It's
through
just
there.
lovely. Shall I go into close up so that the camera
Yeah.
comes in from this
Yeah,
side and you can
do that.
Yeah. It's really difficult with the studio lighting to give that, but actually you can see that shot through there.
Trying to see where I am. Nope. Ah, there we go. Right, finger. So you can see as it moves, you've got that little movement of colour with that orange in the backdrop.
Stunning, isn't it?
It is so beautiful, this
Oh,
piece.
Over on
Really
YouTube,
lovely.
Joy's joined us and she says, good morning, Gemma and John. I
Buddy,
hope
buddy.
Natasha gets well soon. Heidi says, good morning, ladies, and of course the fabulous John. And Ali says, good morning from a glorious Fuerteventura. The word sample sale reached here, shopped already, love to all. Well, you know, I'm just going to say it, because our Inga is a woman of wise words. Once you've seen these sell out, you've had your chance, because no one's making another one. So these are...
And one thing I do think
Buy
is
it now or
important
lose
to
it
remind
forever.
you all that when we are doing these on the show, we are standing, trying to talk to you and go through there. So if a
Yes.
seam isn't quite right,
Yes.
we don't criticise. We are kind to one another. This feels
And
amazing.
that's what's
How big
held-
is this quilt?
Very good question. That's, I think it was 43
42.
or 42 or 43 square-ish.
42 by 43.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You know, this is what's held Jane and Tash back from selling before, is them worrying that, oh, well, it's not
Oh,
been
it's
made
gorgeous.
very slowly and diligently. But to be fair, John, if I made this,
Oh my God, it's
I'd
gorgeous.
be so proud. And the finishing on it's really nice.
Stunning. I'm going to put that in my bag.
So, yes. You are hoping.
What do I show you there? I'm going to show
Going
my
be
bits
like
next.
Yes, we
I'm gonna
can
show my
So we
bits
have two
next.
bags today that have been made by John.
Nobody's going to want
Um,
them.
Oh, sure.
Shall I bring the box up?
Well, you could, except it's a big plastic box. That'll make it useful.
Apologies for the ugly box.
Finished samples to sell sticker.
There it
on the
is.
side.
Sorry, I guess, but you know, when you're a little larger like I am, no one ever wants to see one bending down because everything wobbles to the floor.
Shush.
Are you seriously
We all
doing these
love
for
you.
12 quid? That's mental.
So these, and that's your material costs.
Listen, yeah.
That's your material costs. So
These were amazing to
look at him
make.
picking all the threads out. Yeah.
you've gotta get a
Again, you might find some loose threads that you need
It's all
to stitch.
part of the journey.
There might be a turning through gap we've missed that you just need to do a line of stitching on, but then you can smugly say, make
I've
that.
not missed a turning
No,
through it, have I?
didn't mean yours in particular.
Actually, I might have.
I didn't mean yours in particular, but when we're doing a demo, sometimes
That's a
that
very good
turning through
point.
gap might have been left, or there might be a line of top stitching, something like that. But if you have to add a few stitches in, you can realistically say, oh yes, I sewed that.
Then it's a multi-person project.
It is. I collaborated with
Collaborated,
Natasha or John
exactly.
to make that
But this
item.
one is lovely. This is from Jenny Raymond, and the
is.
first time I made it, and I made one in the house, and I had it on the table. Andrew's like, "Why have you made a bra?" I'm like, "What?"
It's a massive bra, eh?
Well, yes. So anyway,
I've
but these
got a
bags are
decent pair,
so
John, but
amazing.
crikey, Bobs,
I love it.
that's,
Oh, there is a turning through circle. I apologise.
Oh,
There
is
is.
there one?
So there you go. You can do that, and then we've done a
hand
project
stitch.
together.
Yeah.
Do a
See?
project together.
See.
But yeah, £12 for that one.
$11.99.
£11.99.
Absolutely.
And the
it's a
colours,
really
and it's
good
fully
size.
reversible.
Yes.
Fully reversible. That there, Jenny Raymond knows what she's doing.
She does. It's a really good size
It's a
bag
gorgeous
as well. You get a lot
colourway
in
as
there.
well. But if you don't
How
like
much
that
lunch you could get
colourway,
in there, John? It's a good
you
old
mean,
picnic
well,
bag.
I got told there was a bake-off this morning. So I've had a bit of a morning. Can I just babble on
Go
for 30
on,
seconds?
you get it out.
I had a bit of a nightmare getting in this morning because I left my house at, I think it was 7:05, and I pulled in here at 41 minutes past 9.
That was beautiful.
Now, you do need to prep, get ready, you know, this, yeah, it's not going to change.
Sound check.
Sound check.
Sound
Print the
check.
pattern off that you
Yeah.
haven't sent to Gemma yet. Sorry, darling. One day we'll
Should've
get it
done with me
right.
a week ago. It's fine.
2 weeks ago.
It's
It's been a bit of a busy couple of weeks. So, yeah, that was why there was a story to this. Oh, yes, we were doing bake-off in the office because Izzy has...
It's Izzy's week to
It's
do
Izzy week to do a bake-off, and they bring in a cake, and I arrive, and there's this beautiful Victoria sponge,
Homemade, yeah.
piped cream, everything. And I said to Gemma, oh, I'm going to play with bake-off this week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a very, very nice shop, and I'm going to buy 3 cakes, put them on plates, and before Izzy gets in, all the cakes will be there. I'm like, yeah, I just whip those up at home. And then I got complimented on how beautiful my boxes were for the cakes that they came
early enough to try and,
to try and do it all.
Homework.
So
That's what it is, you see.
it is, the
It was
bloody
your
traffic.
wicked plan.
Yes.
And the universe went,
Said
no,
nope,
John.
nope.
No wickedness
We're just going to call it a
from you."
mild stroke while you try and get everything ready for your show.
Oh, it says we are eating it. It's amazing.
I've already had a piece.
You've already had some
I had a
cakes,
piece.
yeah.
I think there is a turning circle on one of these as well. But again, double-sided, completely beautiful. And I just love these.
They are great, aren't they? This is Liberty.
It is.
So they're Liberty and are 100% cotton plains.
And this was Cave.
And they're both 11.9. Oh, that was Jane Sassaman.
James Sassaman,
Yeah, James
of
Sassaman,
course. But it does look like Philip.
It's very, very fabulous, isn't it?
Very
Big
fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, that was those two. We've then got an easiest tote bag. That's Jane Sassaman as well.
Love these.
I am going to have a little scout down and just remind everyone of prices. And these are, you know, ready-made. Gift to yourself or gift to others. Where, oh, see, I'm seeing sold out.
It's got a French seam
all
as
over
well.
the
I
shop.
know.
All over the shop I'm seeing.
Is the
sold
quilt
out.
still available?
Hang on.
I think it is.
I don't know.
There's a French seam in here as well. Jane made this one, I'm sure.
I think that was Natasha. I can't see that one on the page.
Oh,
Bear
I'll
with,
put it
I
away.
never did.
Sorry, scrap that. Is this one on the page? This
That one
one's on
might
the
have been
page.
sold out. No.
This one is definitely on the
This
page.
one
Oh,
Huge.
I'm sorry. Can I
Yeah,
just
there's a
say?
large file in there.
Can I just say? I do love using a bag, and I'll never forget going to Bangkok with my bright pink leather bag, and the man
Fabulous.
looked at me and he said, "Are you man or woman?" And I looked at him and said, "What would you prefer?" With my bag.
I
But
am
I love a
woman.
bag with decent handles, because there's nothing worse than getting one and it's up here and you can't get your arm through and you've only got that little bit. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Really,
The thing
really
with this
pretty.
as well-
And you got a little bag.
Well, this is the thing, it's the Lisa Chandler pattern. So this is an Eastern tote, a Lisa Chandler Eastern tote, made up in Crystal Manning for Moda, Paisley, rose fabrics. But there's internal
You got pockets. Got
Let's
pockets.
see if anyone can see. There's little, so you could put water bottle or whatever in there.
There's a pocket.
It's got space. But
There.
it also has,
And down the bottom.
at the back here, look, you've got another
Another
little
sleevey pocket.
Yeah.
Sleevey
There's
pocket.
space in there for lever arch files.
I
You know,
know.
if you were university/colleging or working, all of it. Laptop, books, the whole shebang. It's got really
Let me redo that. For
Stop.
general detritus of your day, don't need to put a lever arch file in that. I've got that much rubbish just to take around to go to the grocery store.
There is room.
It's
for
beautiful. And it's got
stuff.
the... Are we using Vliselina or Bosel?
Oh, that will be Starville fit.
Starville. technical difficulties.
Back. Oh, hang on. John's on presenter mic. I'm on the other one.
Okay. So,
John, you should
So
be
I've
back.
gone, hello, can you hear me now? Sorry, technical difficulties. Hopefully you can all hear us.
Oh, we lost John first, then me. Cracky Bobs. That's no good. Well, thank you everyone for letting us know.
Thank you for being patient. I was just going on about how beautiful these handles on this bag were. They feel amazing.
yeah, they're lovely, aren't they?
Really pretty.
It is such a nice roomy bag as well. The
Love.
handles on these are premium. They are really
They're
beautiful.
really good.
Really beautiful. Oh, you can hear John again. That's good.
Well, if you'd like to lean in, they'll hear
I
you
know,
too.
I am, as Natasha says. Brian
What did you call it?
Brian
Bride Blessed,
Blessed.
yes.
So rude.
We have Natasha with us now.
What are you doing in the corner?
Morning.
Oh, that's a lovely sound, Mariella, isn't it, eh?
Mariella.
I'm a beauty this
You
morning.
You're always a
are.
beauty. Don't demean yourself that way.
She sounds like
If
she should
anyone's
have a
going to do
face
it,
full
we'll do it. You don't have to.
She sounds like she should have a face full of stubble.
Oh,
All right, good morning.
Have I got onto the wrong show today?
Definitely. We're all falling apart here, John.
Oh, those
We're all falling
Right, how much
apart
is that
here.
one?
That one. There it is. That's the Lazy Quilters bag,
It's
John.
beautiful.
So this is made on Fleecelina Quilters Grid using a beautiful mode of charm pack.
Now, what I love about that quilter's grid is it gives you that extra little bit of stabilizer without giving you a stabilizer, for
Yeah.
want of a better
And
expression.
those handles.
They're amazing.
Well, most of the price that she's put this bag up for is covered by the price of the handles.
24. That can't be.
No, $24.99. She's put this bag up.
Look, I'm
for.
just going to say, get on that website.
The bag handles are worth way more than half of that. I have no words. We fell out a little bit yesterday about this.
You
but
can't fall out with
she-
somebody who sounds like that.
Well, I know. I
They
had
say
to just-
things and you just laugh.
I rolled my eyes a
Hello,
lot.
darling.
I rolled my eyes a lot, John, is what I did. That's exactly what it
This
is.
bag is fabulous. There's like a
Silly.
hidden pocket, which I love. You've got bottles of
And
wine.
there's one at the front.
Bottles. No, but it's this one you can put your bottle of wine in.
Bottles, one gin, one tonic.
Love it.
Yeah, or tech.
Lo-
In could go the iPad or... All right. Gin,
Do you know what I love
tonic.
about Gemma? You think I carry things.
You get other people to
Of
carry
course I
things.
do.
But there are pockets in the front, so Natasha has made this one with 1, 2, 3 sections at the front, and then another 2 up the back. Come on now.
And inside.
And inside, have a look. This is the apron bag, Lisa's apron bag, and then there's pockets inside as well. So lots and lots of pockets for those who are a pocket fan.
And we've sold out of that fabric. We've got a couple of kits left.
I think we've
but
got
we've sold
one
out-
kit
one
left.
and we've sold out of that
Yeah, but that fabric,
so-
and that fabric is from the Summer Palace collection, Lisa's Summer Palace collection, which she
Can we
won't
do a
be
close up
printing
on this?
for,
Because
will
I'm
she?
sorry, I want to do.
Particular one.
I want to
I'm
show
not
people
sure that
this.
She's getting that colourway we printed, if I'm honest.
No.
Can I just say, we get metallic, but as I move this down, look how that sparkles.
Beautiful.
It's so elegantly done, and I love Lisa's metallics on here. Really pretty.
I know.
Right,
She's
so
a
that's
beaut, that one.
This is your fault, John. If you hadn't
I
introduced
know.
me to Lisa.
Well, quite. John did introduce us to
It would have been a
Lisa.
loss to the world.
That
But I'm so
bag
excited she's coming in August. I'm very excited. However, I'm a little nervous
Why?
Why?
because what was that bunga
The amount
bunga?
of gin.
No, that has never bothered me. What's that place that you went to?
Bongo's Bingo.
Bongo Bingo, yes.
Oh.
Bongos
So we
big.
We're gonna
need to
have
now
to go
book
to
that
Bongo's
now
Bingo.
for when
Yeah.
she's arriving, because I'm sorry, Bongo Bingo is a happening. And I'm bringing Sylvia and Joe.
I will sound like this all over again after Bongos.
Yeah,
Bingo.
just
Don't
from
care,
the
it's worth
singing.
it. It's
Just
worth
from the
it.
shrieking of Bon Jovi or whatever else is flying out of your mouth at
How
the
much
time.
was this one?
$34.99. I know, and again, the amount of fabric and stabiliser that's gone into that one.
Did this go up?
I took it off and put it back on again, John, because it was not there.
And John, that's my pattern.
It's
That
stunning.
is.
And I made it.
Stunning.
Jane must have made it because it's got French food. You think I can't eat cake and at the same time?
I've watched you do that. I love it.
Only your true friends are that rude to you.
Rude.
Oh, I'm seeing the word sold out everywhere. So
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
SJ, if you are watching,
Hello,
could you
SJ.
please have a look at that particular SKU? I've taken the tags off it. I've put the tags back on it again. It is still not appearing in the collection. If anyone wants to find it, it is easiest tote bag, and it is Jane Sassaman. So it should be there.
What this one? This one's beautiful.
That is.
And I'm going to show you the outside first
That's
because
Natasha's
it's fully
pattern.
reversible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's Natasha's pattern. It's her origami bag.
It's oh my god, and it's got the it's got a flange.
This is Moda
Where did I see the flange?
Wildflowers.
There's a flange.
Moda Wildflowers.
Ooh, I like it.
I know.
Moda
it's good, isn't it?
Wildflowers. Look at that bag.
Natasha likes a reversible bag.
Quite
because
right.
Invariably, with an Emily around,
You go from day
you'll get
to night.
or she'll get ice cream on
You go
things,
from clean to back to clean again.
squash or whatever.
You
mud.
make childhood rearing
around.
really appealing.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. That is a
Well, we keep
big
trying,
bag.
so
It's a big old bag. You can see how much you can get in there.
that is amazing.
$19.99, John.
Freddie has one with carrots on and he loves it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. That's gone, John. Now this Natasha will be distraught about because you were really
Oh, I
wanting
didn't
to
wanna
keep
sell
it.
it, yeah.
No, she didn't. We did have a few things that she went, no, I can't part with it, and that was one. And then I persuaded her to put it back. This is a sweet little bag, no?
Very cute.
Yeah, it's a Lisa Chandler. This is one of those where you're going to curse John because she's put it up far too low price.
Some of these might just need.
Oh, it's
like,
gone.
Oh,
Gone, $5.99, gone.
some of these might need the turning through gap.
I
sewing
have
up.
said.
We've already
Yeah, I've said this. I've said there might
And
be a
I
bit of top
confidently said,
stitching.
not on my bag, and you did.
Yeah, on
Because-
your bag.
On my bag. That is
That's no good
stunning.
again.
Yeah, this is the Japanese-inspired knot bag in the Moda Wildflowers, and yep, fully reversible. Different Moda Wildflowers on the inside. She's a beaut, isn't she?
It's lovely.
So, gorgeous. I love the little knot bag.
Mm.
They're very on trend. Very on trend. Beautiful.
We never doubted it.
Yeah, see?
Pumpkins!
that
Pumpkins!
Come on.
Pumpkins! There's 3 of them!
John, I want you to stand still for a second, right?
No, I'm
Right,
looking
take a
at the
deep breath in
samples.
And a deep breath out. And another one. And again. Right. That one was $10.99, that little bag. Just saying. These, however...
What?
I
Oh, no, I'm
know.
just going to get
I
frustrated.
know. Just breathe, my friend.
Crafters
breathe.
don't value their
I-
work.
These here are our fabric pumpkin trio, Tim
They're
Holtz.
so cute.
They are Halloween fabrics, but they are just...
you
But
don't
they're Tim
really know
Holtz.
that they are.
No.
They're Tim Holtz, it
exactly.
doesn't matter.
And they're beautiful, but they've got these fabulous
They're
stalks on.
really
They're
sweet.
made,
Do
handmade
you wanna
by
go and do the-
Natasha. Yeah, of course we can. Handmade by Natasha. And there we go.
Were
That
these
plastic
stolen
box is
from
awful,
Emily?
isn't it?
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Yeah, we do have quite a few
What
fabric
how much are they?
pumpkins
Were they
made.
like something $10.99?
$14.99 for the three, for all three.
Emily would like to give you her pocket money.
Yeah, she probably
Look
would.
at that.
She would buy all the things if she knew.
They are very, very sweet. And these hang up, don't they?
Do
They
they?
can.
Well,
Oh,
you could. You
you
could
could.
string them, couldn't you? But no,
They're
they are.
really adorable.
Natasha's got a fantastic big metal bowl, and you'll have seen it in the hallway. And she fills the metal bowl with the pumpkins, and we have them all year round, actually, don't we? We throw different coloured ones in at different times, but they just look fabulous.
Had.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my god, this is so
All
sweet!
I need to finish that off.
I think this one
don't.
is gone.
Oh, it's got my pins in.
It's got me pins. That one has gone. So this is a William Morris fabric, Lisa Chandler Black Magic bag. And whoever's got that one, fastest fingers first, well done.
Watch out for your pins.
Well done, well done.
Ooh, look at that, the embroidery.
Oh, it's sweet. These are the little coin purse that Natasha designed in her head while she was on holiday in Croatia. And then she came back.
And boom.
It goes with the denim.
It does.
bag.
It
Do you want
really
to put a
does.
close up? The detailing on
So-
that is amazing.
Oh, she says. The screen crashed and it's reloaded again. Let's do it. There we go. She says, come on, behave yourself.
We're having a
John
little
can see me
tick.
pressing the button here.
There you go.
Doing as it's
Look
told.
at the
There it
detailing on
is.
that. Isn't that adorable?
It really is. Beautiful.
And they've got a lovely little button.
So this is the folded triangle pouch. I must actually add that if you
It's
are...
got pockets!
if you're
How do you have pockets in something that small? That's
It's clever.
fabulous.
Cleverness. I have to add, actually, John, it's a very important observation here. But if you are missing out on any of these and you're distraught, / distressed, / in any way upset, the patterns are there. You can
And the
buy
kit's there as
patterns
well for
and
most,
you can-
some of them.
Yeah, some of them we've got kits. If there's anything you want, if you want to see if we can kit you up something, because it's denim and, you know, whatever, ask us. You know, info@natashamakes.com. It might take us a day or two to sort out and what have you, but we will do what we can. But these are makes that we do here. So you can buy these patterns, you can make these makes. Nice opportunity to see them all made up, no?
Exactly.
See? This one.
It's almost as if they're
Dinky.
samples.
Now, Natasha wasn't sure if she should sell this one. She's
I
like,
wouldn't
but
have.
It's a bit wonky, it's a bit... No,
No,
it's
it's
not.
so
It's fine.
sweet.
It's lovely. This is gone already.
Oh, okay.
Because it was £4.49.
Well, yes.
And it's lovely. A little... That's
She's
the
not feeling well, so I'm
embroidery-
not going to pick on her.
No. The embroidery scissor case that was, which again, it fits the Inspira scissors beautifully.
No, don't move, don't move.
Oh,
Look at that, look at that.
Oh.
Oop.
Too late. Come on.
Your
It's very
quilts and
slow
bags
this
have all been
morning.
lovingly
There
popped
we
into this
are.
bag. Look at that!
Johnny, a bit
Just
taken with it.
gorgeous. If I wore glasses, I would.
It's a bit too late, I'm afraid.
Come
That was
on.
£12.99. That's an Odile by Elle velvet.
Oh, it feels lovely.
I know, it's stunning.
But can we just look at the shower?
Right.
Oh, this isn't. I know what this is.
No.
I remember seeing this now.
Oh, good.
If, like me, you go on retreats quite a lot, and you then have a little bag for all your bits, and then when you leave, but you need the bits, you just fold it back up, boop, and you put it in your bag.
Or toiletries.
Exactly.
Fabulous.
It's so pretty.
Fabulous.
But look at the fabric.
It's the most beautiful K Facet collective, isn't it? Let's
It's
pop that
so
on
pretty.
Close up so people can see. There we are. Beautiful octopus.
Look at his
blue.
little smile.
And tiddlywinks.
Yeah, have you seen the tiddlywinks inside? Let's have a proper
And then, of
look at
course, these are Brandon's, aren't they?
The tiddlywinks are Kate.
Kate, and these
the
are-
octopus is Brandon's.
that. So
These are
this is-
Cave, and that's Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that wrong way round this time.
This is the fold down storage caddy, and Natasha's got this one up at £10.99. I know.
What's
I
the
know, I
lining?
know.
H640.
So it's H640 in there.
I
Just to
think
give it
you
a
need
bit,
to
a
go
little
and
bit
lie
of
down.
floof.
You should be resting.
A little bit of floof. Oh, and this is one of our recent makes that's super popular.
Sparkly! It's sparkly!
It is. So we've got here the Lisa Chandler Under the Aussie Sun Floral in the black, red, gold colourway, which is glorious anyway. Can we just have a little word about the inside? Some beautiful Lisa Chandler small floral on the inside.
Don't do close.
You can go close if you like.
Yeah, because you can see the sparkle, the gold, and the
There
fabric.
we go.
Look at the
And
sparkle.
then the sparkly PU as well.
It's so pretty.
With really beautiful
Come on, frighten me. How little is
drawstrings.
this one?
That one's gone.
Okay,
And
bye.
I'm not surprised, John, because
No,
it
of course
was
not.
$14.99.
This, oh, another Japanese knot bag.
Now, I don't think Emily's going to forgive you for this one, Natasha, although did you make her a small one? I think you did make her a tiny
She
one.
has got a small one.
That's all right then, because otherwise I think you might as well
How pretty.
just not go home, because she'll go mad if she knows this one's gone. This one has already gone, and I'm not surprised at $10.99.
It's so pretty, but the
Looks like
lining, just
beautiful.
gorgeous. And what I love about these is most of these are fat quarter friendly.
Yeah.
So we've got those fat quarters you're not quite sure of, and you
Mhm.
do want to make them. I'm hoping the samples do inspire people to get the
Sure,
patterns because they're
absolutely.
beautiful. Do not
Absolutely.
trip on those.
I'm not going to. I know it's there.
Shall we do this while we're wafting?
Well, why not?
We're
So-
here. We're
Shall I
here.
just take that box out?
You
and
most
then
certainly
there's
can.
no health and safety
Oh,
situation?
that's perfect. I'm going to nudge
But
it
I
this
like
way.
the samples,
Yes, well, you'll end up taking them all home with you, John, and being as most of them have now sold.
and they're in a convenient
think
little
it
box
is
to
best
run out the
I
door
put them there
with.
for that there, Natasha, to take.
So Christmas, sparkly Christmas.
Yes.
We
so-
did 2 colorways, and I will tell you a little secret. I had all the fabric cut out for the extra blocks in the corner, and I sat down last night at about 8 o'clock to do this, and then realised I had misplaced the little green one, the teal.
yeah.
So there was a frantic phone call at 20 to 8.
To me.
Gemma, help me!
Please tell me you've got more of this fabric. We
So
do.
we
It's
do.
back in
So
stock.
apologies, this isn't finished, but it will be because this is my Christmas morning quilt. Look how beautiful that
She's a
is.
beaut, isn't she?
And you can see the sparkliness of loveliness in that.
Sparkliness of loveliness.
Sparkliness of loveliness. It's the only way to describe it because you've got this gorgeous bumbleberry. And you can just see how the metallic works in that bumbleberry. It is so
It's
clever.
beautiful.
And of course, the Lisa Chandler Melba fans, oh, in the teal and in the, is this pink?
Yes.
I think this was pink.
Yes.
And then
Pink
on the
silver.
shelf behind us, we did it in the green and the red
Yes.
with the black bumbleberry in the
Yes.
background. And we
So-
did the show last Wednesday as a pre-record. I think it came out in
Wednesday
the evening.
before, wasn't it?
Wednesday
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
you're
it
quite
was.
right.
Yeah, yeah. But we have the green gold and it's the bright red gold there with this black bumbleberry, and it just complements it so beautifully, doesn't it? It's like
Now,
a
anybody who
evening
does
Christmas quilt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that is exactly what it is on Christmas Eve. Now, one thing, can you hold that out for me?
Yeah, sure.
Now, a little bit higher, only because what I just want to show you is in a lot of quilts that we do, we don't have any empty space. Now, I know you can't quite see the quilting in here, but you can see the outline of it. And what I love about leaving some empty space is I've quilted this in gold, and because I've got the long arm, I get a really great big giant clamshell here, which is almost identical to Lisa's Melba fans on here. So that's why I've left a huge amount of quilting area there, because if you want to do embroidery, if you got an embroidery machine and you want to do this, these squares here, you can take them before you put them into the quilts, and you can put all the embroidery or any of the embellishments you want to do on all of the four sides.
Beautiful.
To be able to do it, because there's loads of different Christmas decorations that people embroider, and I thought by just having that section there,
Yeah.
it's a really nice way of being able to add your own touches to the quilt and make it your own.
But left on its own even, John. Look
Exactly.
at the sheen on this,
It's
on the silver colourway.
beautiful.
That beautiful metallic bumbleberry is just stunning, and it bounces so much light.
It does,
from
and
it.
but what I loved about the black is because
Yeah.
I never thought black on a Christmas quilt would work, but it really pops these so beautifully. So I think this was quite a good inspired choice on
It
that.
changes the green somewhat, makes
It
it,
does.
more gold. It gives it a more, it's beautiful.
And it made
Absolutely
that was
beautiful.
why the quilting in the
Yeah.
gold, there was absolutely no choice
It's
of doing
perfect.
anything otherwise.
Anyone who wants to see this quilting, we did actually pop a video up.
We
You
did.
You did a little video, didn't
I
you?
did.
We shared it to our social, so you'll find it there. You'll be able to see it. But we do have John's quilts available and the instructions. And you know, John, I have to say, the hero of this quilt for me is these big corner blocks here.
Oh, I love
For me,
them.
the pattern, just to be able to do these corner blocks and make amazing cushions.
Exactly.
You've
So-
got a space in the middle for a feature fabric if you wanted to, but any of your fabrics worked around that centre
Exactly.
block. That for me, then
'Cause the-
sash to the size you want.
The great thing I've done with this quilt, I think, is that we've got 4 different blocks in there, and you've got the design and the pattern to be able to make all 4 different blocks. And all of the blocks work really well just on their own. Because what I've done as well is I created this quilt,
Yeah.
and just by putting those in, when you do the next one down, it creates 2 Irish chains going through the
Nice.
quilts. And if you then put them on the diagonal going this way, that you've got the cross, and you can build it, it works really beautifully. It's a very, very
Sure.
versatile block.
I love this as well because to me it looks like bows. So you
Yeah.
can put a little sparkly in the middle even and
Exactly.
you get like a
Oh.
bow look.
Obs! I love it.
Love a bit of sparkle, don't we? Love a bit of
Indeed.
sparkle. Oh, I'm just seeing that we've got lots of lovely comments.
Oh.
Poor Vicky has got similar
Oh
sounding
no,
to
there's so much
Natasha.
of it going
I
around.
know. Oh, thank you, SJ. She's also shared a link as well, which is great. Sylv says, late joining. What is this? Selling samples? And who's the fella in the corner? The fella in the corner's gone now. Looked like Natasha. Definitely didn't sound like her. Oh, yes. And Claire Angelina says, your quilts are both great, but the darker one does pop
It
more."
does.
And that's all down to personal preference or
Exactly.
time of day.
Exactly, but it is,
evening,
it is.
evening, morning.
But what I love
brilliant
about it
pattern.
is when you create a quilt and you've got a pattern for it, what I love is seeing the way people do it in different colours and the way they come out with it. I think it's brilliant. Case in point, that lovely Anne Davies in Wales has done me an enormous favour, which I'll show you all in a few
Ooh,
minutes.
okay.
Because she has actually made all of the blocks for my summer quilt, and we're going to try and put that together in a little while.
Fantastic.
She's really she's so
Fantastic.
lovely.
Excellent.
Anything more? Anyone else want to say
Just lots of
hello?
people saying hello and different
Hello.
things. And Lorraine says that she's been using selvages to wrap embroidery hoop inside. Like, oh, that'd be gorgeous.
It
wouldn't
really is. The other thing
Um,
I saw recently in our retreat this weekend is when people were doing the Secret Santa, they'd use selvages as bows,
Oh, well, that's
which
nice
was
as well.
really sweet.
nice.
That was
I've
lovely.
got a bow maker. I'd have loads of fun with that. Oh,
Mm.
now you're giving me ideas.
Nothing wrong with
Love
them.
our creative ideas, don't we? But yes, your summer quilt, John,
Yes.
has been our block of the month for the year.
It has.
It has. And it's been
believe
a
it's been
journey. month
Well,
on
it
month.
should have been 10 months, but it's now been 11. So thank you very much for being
And you
patient
had
with
holiday.
me. I did. It's allowed
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah,
And then I
yes.
came back with pneumonia. Yay, only 3 times in 1 year, 7 in 2. So yes, always fun.
You just like to, Let
I
everyone
can
know
definitely
how
say
fragile you are and
I
how much
definitely
you love.
don't like it. I'm done with it now.
It's like, please love me and look after me. I'm quite fragile. And we're all like,
I love
John,
it,
we
I
love
love
you
it,
very
I
much. We
love
do,
it.
we do.
Well, should we
you've got
recap?
blocks.
Because
Yes,
we've
please.
still got kits on these.
So there are kits for every month that you can do, 1 month, because if you see one block and you want to give that a go first, that's
It's worked really well. Now, you are going to forgive me because of the technical issues and various things, because we were ready to print the pattern, and as we all know, whenever you need a computer, it'll do a Windows update, and it's still doing said Windows update. So we don't have pattern 10 here. It will be on the website ASAP.
The printed version it's only if you need the digital,
Yes,
that you're going to have
so
to wait just an hour
just
or two.
pop back an hour after the show. I'm really sorry, but we all know what it's like when Windows decide, you're going to update now. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
I will get you
Yes,
to buy
you
a
are.
Mac. I will. It
I
will happen.
I would, but my design program doesn't work on it.
Oh no!
I know.
Oh well, that's okay.
Really annoying.
Maybe you need one for the design stuff and one for everything else. Maybe you're going to have to just do this to yourself.
I
Let's
struggle
see, we should
finding my own mobile phone. You think I
Okay.
should have 3 computers?
Okay, maybe not.
Maybe not.
All right.
Maybe not.
But we'll let you talk.
Anyway,
through
so we'll
the
go through
project
these.
month by month.
So we'll
going to
start off
overhead.
at the very, very beginning with number 1. And this was the block that we made. This was the FPP. So you got the pattern and the FPP all together. And we had 2 different colorways on this. We had the solids, and then we had this gorgeous Cafe version as well. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I didn't make 4 of these, but you can tell when you put them out, there are so many different options to be able to use this as a border in a quilt, or if you weren't going to want to make the whole quilt, that as a little border with a bit of gap in between, or just making it as a cushion. You've got great options to be able to do it, and I personally think this K-facet fabric here is beautiful.
Oh, looks great.
So inspired. So that was our month 1, way back in January or February, whenever it was. And then we had block 2, and block 2 was this one. And here you can see we did have 4 of them. I'm just going to do this individually. And what's so great is that these have all been designed that even though you get one of them, when you put 4 of them together, you get a secondary flower as well. So again, really sweet little block to make a cushion. That's quite a nice small one, but when you get the FPP, you can always enlarge it as well if you wanted to make it bigger. But I think again, the color choices with the Cafe is really pretty. Very, very thought out, and it's just, I love these Aboriginal dots. They're really good. So again, if you just type in John Cole, all the patterns and kits and everything that I've done are on the website, so
Sure.
you'll be able to see the different versions
Everything
there.
is in today's collection, which is Textile Tuesday, or can be found on the Watch Live page, or John has his own area of the website under our guest designers.
Love it. It always sounds so posh saying
I
that.
know, we have resident designers and guest designers.
So again, now we've got pattern 3 with our block for number 3. Now each of the patterns, you've got a color code of what you should do, and I strongly advise whatever colors you're using, cut a piece of it off and put it down
I
here.
always do this now.
It's so
an
important.
absolute godsend. It's amazing.
And then you've got all the cutting plans and what you're doing and what color everything goes where. And this is what it's going to look like. We've got the solid version there and then the Cafe version there. And you can see just with that beautiful scale of fabrics here, you can make this anything you like with
In
those
some of these
Cafes.
blocks, we have sold out of the Cafe facet option. So,
But the great thing about the
plains-
Cafe fabric is that there are so many different options. You can use any of them. And what I also love, sorry, just going back to block 3, is that with this was the cabbage.
Brassica.
Was it
Yeah,
brassica?
brassica.
What I loved about it is as I was cutting out and sewing it, you could tell that if you'd actually just taken a little bit of time, there's a bit of brown here. If you'd taken the time and found another brown piece to put in there, you change the colorway completely.
Yeah.
And when you do the other blocks, you could have chosen more of these purple ones in there.
Yeah.
And most of the Cafe fabrics, even if it's not a purple like that, when you go into another colorway, a different style of fabric, you'll still find a purple in there. So even if you haven't got the exact colors back, you'll still find something really, really lovely. And again, as I said before, you put them down and it does create a really cute little pattern by doing 4 of them. Then we did on to block number 4. Number 4 was this block, and this one really pops when you put them together like that and creates a really
much
pretty
fun.
little flower.
Love it.
And this, again, Cafe fabric just works beautifully in that. It's really inspired.
And John, these patterns are ones you could come back to time and time again using your scraps
Exactly.
and everything, once you've got them.
And
And
they
the
do-
patterns don't stay up forever. So, if this is something you want to grab some patterns and put them into your
Well, it would
archive,
be
then-
cluttering up your website if we did.
Well, it's the thing, and we can only have a certain number of products on there before it all starts to run very slowly.
So again, as I said to you, all 4 of them together create a secondary flower. So there are 4 of them together, but they are just individually equally as beautiful. And as I said previously on one of the previous blocks, if you're just wanting to create a little border, you could alternate those as a beautiful border on most of your quilts.
These are really effective as borders, aren't they?
Really
Every
sweet.
block
And you
look
can just
great.
miss out one and just have a solid piece in there and then do another. It just works very, very well having all these different options available to you. But the key is having the block available to start with in the first place.
Oh, I really hope that we're going to get some pictures uploaded to our Community Makes page from people who
Oh, I
are
hope
making this,
so.
'cause we'd love to see them.
I hope so.
Love to see how you've got on.
Now, number 6, I come from South Africa, and in South Africa, if you were very, very clever and you were in the clever class, you were called higher grade.
Oh, okay.
So we have the higher grade version of block 6 because I
Wow.
think in the solid you can see just how detailed getting these points is,
remember this.
which is fabulous, and I love it, and being able to do that is wonderful. But equally, some people look at this and go, my life is too, no.
This is
no.
not my friend.
This is not my friend.
It's
So
not
the
for
other
me.
way of doing it then is on the show for block 6. You'll be able to then see, I've suggested if you do leave the little purple bits out, you can just put the solid in,
Lovely.
and that will make your life a lot easier.
Sure.
Both are really sweet, and
Really
both
sweet.
make really cute little quilts. And what I actually prefer about this one is you get a bit more detail of the K fabric in
do.
here as well. It's really
But
special.
these are literally just one block, aren't they? They
Yep.
go in the centre of the quilts.
It's literally this
Just
middle
there.
bit here, we can see it just there. Sorry, we're switching cameras
That's
again.
all right.
So it's this central block here, and that was why I gave you the option for doing the easier version, because it is the centre of the quilt. If you did want to get it right and you did go wrong, I didn't want people being upset and not having it perfect at that point. So that was number 6. Now, I don't think there has ever been an FPP EPP quilt quite like this one before. So block 7 was in fact completely, you can see on the back, EPP. So all of the pieces were there, and that is what you ended up getting on it there. And so it was EPP for the majority of it, and then you appliqued this on. And I have loved doing this. It is so different for EPP, having these really huge shapes. One thing I will say is when and if you do this pattern, make sure that once you've cut all your pieces out, put it on the cutting board and make sure that it measures 10 inches exactly. And if it doesn't, just go back and trim down the edges over here so that it's just inside the little black line of the outline, because you don't want to end up with a situation where your block is ever so slightly too big. If it is too big, please don't worry. We're going to show you how you fix it in the next section
And John,
as well.
a block like this, Jane's done a series for us, and she's been building on this for cushions. And she quite often has a block that works on the diagonal like that, adds in triangles,
Yep.
and then she's done a flanged cushion, she's
beautiful.
done a bound cushion, but quite often with a block that sits on the diagonal, adding those triangles in to make a larger
It's
cushion.
perfect.
How impactful would that be as a beautiful big cushion
Exactly.
to accompany your summer quilt?
What I will say is if you
gorgeous.
are going to do that, please make sure bias is very, very important if you're
Yes.
doing that. So you want your bias edge to go over here and over here and over here and here, so that the outside of your square is not on the bias. So when you're doing it, make sure that you cut your triangles and you're making sure that the bias is on these edges that you're joining in. That's my only suggestion to you with
Top
that. And
tip,
it's a
Tom.
beautiful, beautiful quilt
Thank
doing
you.
that. So that's block 7. You ended up making 4 of those. Block 8 was the beast of the quilt. We ended up having 4 of these in purple. And then we had 4 of them in pink. The pink was alternate, so where you had a dark purple, you had a light pink. When you had a light purple, you had a dark pink. There were 2 colorways, one being the cave colorway and one being the solid colorway. So that was what we had for both the purple and the pink. I only have the pink ones available there. So you made 8 of these in total, which was quite a lot, but I hear quite fun to do, which was nice. As you can tell, I've only made 1 of them at the minute because we're all very, very busy people.
Sure.
And then block 9, I think this one was my favorite
Oh, I
because I
love.
think it is so pretty. Really, really, really simple make, being able to do that. I loved being able to do this. And that was block 9. and loads of pictures. So when you go through the pattern, you'll see that I've coordinated different areas, being A, B, C, to create different sections. There are loads of pictures into the EPP patterns to be able to do it. Probably too many pictures, but I'd rather you had more than less. And then once you put everything together, being able to do the applique, showing you how to do that. And I've also given you a tip on how, when you come to put these pieces on, there's a strong chance that the template that I've given you might be a little bit too big. So I've advised you on how to cut that to be able to make it fit perfectly. And then you've got your pieces at the back as well to be able to make the quilt.
Marvellous.
So that was blocks number 1 to 9. Now, the lovely, lovely Anne Davies, and this is what I love about this, is because everybody has different ideas on how to do these quilts. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make the whole quilt up for you, but I will show you the principle on how you do this, because it's exactly the same with everything.
And in order to do this, John, there's going to be the need for a
For this.
So let's
Yes.
quickly mention the finishing kit that we have.
There's so much fabric. It's wonderful.
This is using the fabrics that have been in all your blocks, in those plains blocks, and they will coordinate perfectly with the capes if that's the option you've been going with. And yeah, it's all you need there, John, isn't it?
So you've got a 1/2 metre of your pink, 1/2 metre of your light pink, a long quarter of your light green. Is it 1.5 meters of this green?
Of the green, the emerald, yeah.
1.5 meters, and then you've got 2.25 meters of your cream.
cream.
So these are, if you've been buying the blocks as you go, this then gives you your finishing kit, because a lot of people didn't buy the fabric in one hit. It just meant that they would buy it as and when they wanted to. This is now the finishing for it. So there's a lot of fabric on there, and it works very, very well with the K fabrics as well as the other. And what I'll do is I'll show you, for example, this is one of the K fabrics there, and you can see all of that works really well. It doesn't clash with any of them. So I think it's also important that we make sure that we are doing a finishing kit that's going to work if you have bought the K as well.
Sure.
So you can see that actually is beautiful with that. So it's just important to kind of be able to have that versatility on that. So that is your finishing kit, and we've got this available now on the website.
We have.
Wonderful.
The only thing people will need then, John, is their binding fabric, which you said was around 60
About 60, so it's the quilt ends up being 79 by 79. So you can.
Big quilt.
It's a big quilt.
Beautiful. And you
This is a
found
little
yours
smaller, yes.
in a lovely hot pink, haven't you?
I did,
So
yes.
the azalea would be a good choice for that.
But I think as well,
you
any
could
colour that
choose.
you've used would
Yeah.
work really well. And the other thing is using a stripe or something like that would look exceptional. So I think it's quite good. And if you did want it for the binding, and it is available only by the 1/2 metre, I think 60 centimetres is probably safer for the binding.
So grab a metre.
Drop an email. If you need to do that, we can make
For
that
sure.
work. Otherwise,
Yeah.
then get
Or
the
grab
metre.
a metre, and then you've got plenty.
Because you're
and
always
then
going to
you've
do
got it-
cushions with them as well. You know you are.
And there is always the option as well, John, if you've got, you know, the fancies for it, to do a scrappy binding.
Exactly,
Have
with all the
different
bits that
colours
you've
going
got
on
left
the edge.
over. Now,
Absolutely.
what I always do with mine, I like cutting everything and then being able to sew everything because it's all available. I have cut all of my borders out already. You can see that my light pink is the middle border, my azalea is the first border, and then my green with the green cornerstones are my outer border. So I've already cut those two sides ready to go, and I
How
always, no, but I
organised.
always do it because 99 times out of 100, everything's in one bag and everything's available until you do the Christmas sparkly quilt, and then you mislay a little bag and you can't find it, and it takes forever, and you just
It's
can't.
not like you. I was surprised.
It's
when
very
you told me
unlike
last
me,
night.
very, very unlike me. So
But we've got
I
your
always
back,
keep
John,
everything
we've got your
together.
back.
Exactly.
It's
You always
okay.
get. You can always buy more fabric.
Yeah.
Now, what I love is Anne has decided that she wants to colour her fabric in the beguiled sand. She wanted to have that. And what I think is so genius about doing this is, can we just do a close-up on this? And this is why different fabric choices for different people is so important. Look at those, and as I flick through this, you can see the different fabrics, the different colours. You've got the yellow, you've got the orange, you've got the pink, you've got the azalea colour, you've got the purples, you've got blues in here as well, and it has just worked beautifully. So when I now turn and put these blocks out, I'm just going to wrap block 7. When you do this around there, and this is why if you don't want to use the cream, have a little look and see if there's something else available that you'd prefer, because it doesn't matter what fabric you use, it's just you're the one who's got to look at it every single day and you've got to be happy with it. But having something that you are loving that does have a pop of colour in it might be your preference. I personally love cream, and I love being able to let the blocks stand on their own.
It's really nice though for everyone to have an option to do something different with it.
So you can see having your fabric like this, and if you haven't, the other thing is where you've got your fabric already, if you do want to check it works, sorry I'm messing your bundle up, just take the blocks away, take your cream fabric, lay it down like that, and put your block in the middle and see if you're happy. And when I did this with Anne, she wasn't completely happy with that, and she preferred these fabrics. So there we go. That's what we did. So have a little look in your stash as well, because there might be a little bit of stash. But equally, you might like a K-Facet or Aboriginal dot or something. So that is what we've chosen to do these. And if we then replicate this section over here in the middle of the pattern, and to just show you what it's going to look like, you've got to be very careful on your orientation of these, because it's going to be very easy to get it wrong. You're going to pop that there and that there. So you can see we're just doing that little section over there, and then I'm going to need one of block 4 in the corner over there, and then bomb, 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 block number 6 over here. So that is what you're looking at when you do start putting these together. You're going to put these out obviously in bigger rows, but that is what that little section is going to look like. And I think it's quite good to do that. Lay your fabric out, check that you're happy with the color before you cut anything, because the last thing you want to do is lose any of the fabric or use the fabric and it's not quite right for you and not what you expected or wanted. So that's the first thing you're going to do. With the FPP sections, I leave these in until the very end. Once the quilt is finished, I take these out.
Okay.
So you do them how you want to do them, but at the moment you've trimmed these all down. They are the correct size, so you just make sure that you've got them the size that you need them to be and that you're happy. I personally, because everything's on the bias in these, I want to make sure that everything is as safe and supported as possible, especially with FPP, because it can get a little bit messy. So that is the first thing that I suggest you do with the FPP. We are going to sew a couple of the FPP pieces together, but I'm also going to show you how it is you're going to do these blocks. Now, one thing you're going to notice is once you've put the back on, can we just go to a close-up so I can show people what we mean? Now, once you've done these, you'll notice that it doesn't matter how good or bad or anything, and this is not a criticism at all, every single one of us will have different sizes along that edge. What is really, really important, now I try and leave as much of the paper in as possible. What I'm going to do is, because Anne has glue basted these, I'm going to just move the glue open so that the bit that's going to hang over the edge is leaning over the side. You can just see as I'm opening this up. I'm leaving the papers in place at this point and just gently undoing the glue. If you've basted, by all means, you do exactly the same process, and you'll see what it is I'm trying to do in a moment. So I just want one edge of this opened.
Okay.
Because we're going to do a little bit of creative fiddlyage at this point. Right, so you can see I've now taken all of those away, and what I do is I gently, 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 gently slide this out, and where my ruler lines up with the papers at 1/4 of an inch, that's where I am there. And having said I wasn't going to use a rotary cutter in this show, I now am.
Okay.
Can I trouble you for one of those?
One of these needs a blade change and the other one doesn't, so I'm not sure which is which. I'm sorry in advance.
You're right. So again, I've just moved these along, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a perfect 1/4 inch along there, and I take my ruler, line everything up. Now this one's not quite lining up, so I just pull that, and what's happened is the paper has actually come loose. Okay. So I've just positioned the paper back into place. I've lined that up. There we go. We're completely back in line again.
Brilliant.
Okay, and you can see there's not a huge amount of fabric that you're going to be taking off, but all I'm doing is I haven't taken any of the papers out. I've just loosened the edges. I've got this all ready to go now, so you can see everything past this ruler I don't need. So as I do that, we now have the perfect 1/4 inch. Oh, there's a little skip in this one.
Oh, is it that one? You'd got a 50% chance, John.
So at that point, I now know that when I pop that forwards, I know that that is 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so all I do then is I take one of my sashing pieces, I put that, and I always put the sashing piece at the bottom, and then I put that down and reline that up, and here I definitely will be using pins. I line that up to the edge of my sashing pieces over here, and once that's all lined up, I then go and stitch that down. But I stitch this with the papers at the top, and I line my needle as close to these as possible as I dare. Now you've got two choices. You can leave the papers in and stitch as close as you dare, or you can take the papers out and follow your 1/4 inch seam. That is a you choice. There is nothing wrong with either option. Do what you feel is comfortable. Now, every single one of you is going to have a different size block. It is totally normal, human nature. One of them will be maybe 1/4 inch too big, one of them will be 1/4 inch too large. Now is your choice on how you do it. For me, it won't bother me because I've English paper pieced it, I'm then piecing it, and I'm putting it to foundation paper piecing. If my points match, fantastic. If they don't match, doesn't matter. I've made something really beautiful, and if anybody's going to criticize it, they're not your friend. Don't show them your work. And it's important you don't criticize it because you've done an amazing job getting to the point of having something finished. So over here, and this is where I'll show you going here. You can see we've got about 1/8 of an inch extra of the top there. You can just see that little extra bit at the top there. That's the extra bit there. So I know that fine, that's going to be 1/8 of an inch. So what I do is I will pin here and I will pin here. Oh, sorry.
I tried to predict you there,
It's all
John.
good.
You moved and I moved the camera and then you moved.
You're all good.
And it, you know.
What I try and do is I would pin this section right there, and I'd pin there, and I would let that dangle in the middle, and then I would pin the middle section, trying to make sure that all that little 1/8 of an inch I would ease in along the whole block. Now it's you can just stitch, get to this point, and then yank this bit. You can yank this bit along, and then just catch the extra bit of fabric in there, but I find you get a much cleaner border if you ease in any extra along the way. And as you saw, it was such a tiny little bit of extra, it's really not going to matter if you don't ease it in and you've just got a bit left on the top. It is your choice, you do it how you feel comfortable. I personally will ease it in because when you get to this side, the next block, that may be spot on 10.5 inches, which is what you need over here. And one thing to just remember as I've just done that is you need to make sure that you unfold your paper at the top and you unfold at the bottom to make sure that your 10.5 inches is completely correct.
Marvellous. John,
Okay.
are you going to need the iron?
No.
Right.
No.
I'm still going to
So
skedaddle
I think
over
everybody
to that
understands
corner.
what I'm talking about there and how to do those. If you don't, I will probably go and do a video as I piece all of this togetgether as well,
That's fine.
only because, oh, you're running away.
I'm going to skedaddle to the corner
Gonna skedaddle to
and
the
give you as
corner.
much desk space as possible because
Wonderful.
you've got an entire quilt to sort of lay out. And
Well, I'm going to
I know you're
do,
going
I
to do
think
bits.
everybody will be able to follow the pattern on
Sure.
how to put these pieces together. I think that the main thing there is when you do put the, turn the edges out of the EPP, make sure that you turn this bit out and this bit out, trim those down to 1/4 of an inch as well, and then when you're lining everything up, pin the ends together and then ease any differences along the whole block. You may be in a situation where your actual block is slightly bigger, and then what you do is you pull the base to get the base, give a little bit of stretch on it, because fabric does move, it is mercurial, and as you go along it will stretch or it will contract. It's up to you. Just take your time with it, pin as much as possible, and you can ease any differences in and out as you need.
it really does have a mind of its own.
It really does.
And we're not in control of that. We
Exactly.
just have to accept and move forward.
Exactly,
And, do the
and
best we
be
can.
kind to yourself, because
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, it doesn't make you a bad person, it just means something's gone
And
wrong.
quite often, John, we are the only ones who see the flaw in our work.
Exactly. Well, not quite often, all the time.
It's how
Because
often
95% of the
does that
time, everybody is so lovely and they won't criticise it. And I found in my experience, the 5% that do criticise it are jealous.
happen? Well, or they're not happy in their own.
Well, whatever it is,
You
you
know.
don't need that. Be proud of what you made and enjoy it. So that is those sections. Again, check out my YouTube channel because there will be within the next week or two, there will be a video of me finishing this for Anne. So if you are getting stuck, you'll be able to do it there. It's such a big project. I don't want to mess that bit up. The FPP side of things is totally different because these are already... Sorry, I just need to get this right there. These are already stabilized. They're ready to go, so there is no issue on these at all. I can do this now for you. Marvelous. So for the FPP, I'm going to do the top line. And what is so good is you're doing 2 of the top line, 2 of the middle, and they're just back to front. Right, so there's that one. I need 2 of block 2. I need 2 of block 5.
These tiny blocks, I think they're my favourite, John.
They really are good.
I love them.
They're
so versatile.
They really are. And then 1 of block 3.
Each month when you've done the shows, and the shows are there to watch back for those of you who want to see them and recap. But each month when you've done these smaller blocks, and you've shown us different ways you could position them, normally in 4s, but like you say, they make great borders.
They really do.
They're just really useful to have in your encyclopedia.
Your compendium. Your compendium
of blocks.
Now, I will lay this out. I'm not going to get it all on the screen, I don't think. So the way that you're going to make 2 of these, you're going to have this one, that one, that one. And it is very important you look at the direction of how these blocks are going. I'm going to take this as far as I dare.
We have got a question, John. Karen's asking, can this be put together using the quilter's grid?
I'm going to go with no, only because I adore quilter's grid. I just think you might get a bit messy with the 1/2 inches because it's 10.5 inches. So I don't want you to get confused with the 10.5 becoming 10 inches when you put it together. I think you probably could. I've just never done it, so that's why I'm a little bit hesitant on it. Perhaps
might have to let your head clunk that one through a little while longer.
Because I'm wondering as well, you've just raised a very interesting question. If you take all the papers out of these blocks and you put it down onto quilter's grid, it would give it a really good stabilization, and then you can trim it down. That's a really good idea.
That's thrown you, hasn't it?
It has. That's a genius idea, actually. And then you've got a whole load of 10.5 inch quilter's grid squares to put together rather than blocks. And by positioning them onto there, you can ease it in and out onto that. I like it. This is what I love about our community.
John's pondering face here.
I love it.
He's really thinking this one through.
I like it. I like it. I'm just going to move our DX7 over a little bit. And then we've got that one that way. That there, get it the right way around.
Look at this border, everybody.
It's enormous. I know you can't see it past the machine, but the important thing, the most important thing, follow the line, put your ruler on the line that you're doing, put something covering what you're not doing, and make sure you've got everything directionally correct. So that points in, this points up, that points up, this one points up, and the one on the end, as I glanced over at it there, I saw I'd put it the wrong way round. So it's really important. What I'll do is I'll move the edge one over here so you can see that points in as well. So these 2 over here are pointing in, these 2 are pointing out, and this one's pointing out. And what's so good is, as you can see, that's what it looks like there.
Marvellous.
If I rotate my pattern this way, look, that one goes there. And then when you look at this one, those are pointing in, those are pointing in, and then when I rotate my pattern around, those 2 are pointing in, those 2 are pointing in. So what I've done is I've tried to create the synchronicity of it all.
Almost like it was given some thought.
Exactly. It's almost as if I'm a pattern designer or something.
Almost.
So what I've done now is really simply, I've taken my pieces here, they're 10.5 by 5.5, put those together, and I pop that on top. I always put my FPP on the top because by doing that I can guide the needle through the 1/4 inch piece at the with the block. So I'm now going to do that, and this is foot the wrong way round. Take shoe off.
It's like trying to cook in someone else's kitchen.
Decrease stitch length.
Machine, isn't it?
Yes, and
just on the front of the finding faults in your own work, Claire Angelina said she made those 3 crochet owls. I've seen them, they look lovely. And all she could see was the bits that she didn't like, but the customer was thrilled. Auntie Lizzie Crangle's with us as well, and she says, I agree, green monsters do appear when you've made something beautiful.
Ain't that the truth?
It is so true. Very true.
Okay, now once you've stitched it, put it back in position to check it's right. Ask me how I know. So we've done that one, and then again we're now going to put the next one along, making sure it's in the correct direction before we move anything or pick anything up. And just like before, I'm going to put the sashing on the bottom, and I'm going to put the FPP on the top.
Okay. Is
It is
it essential
definitely-
to put the FPP on the top, John? Or
No, not at all.
your
It's the
preferred?
using somebody else's sewing machine and knowing all the different ways of doing it.
Okay.
And getting the right angle where you don't pop your hip out. Cling to the table because your ballast is larger than it should be.
I'll behave.
Right. So again, you put it back into position. You'll notice I have not pressed a thing. You put that back into position if you want to go in the overhead.
There has been no pressing.
Do you
no
know?
pressing at
Oh, there you go.
all.
So you can see I'm putting that into position, checking that that's going the right way, this is going the right way, and then I put the next sashing strip on. This moved, make sure it's correct, check your pattern.
Yes. 'Cause
Can you
that's
see
how
that-
things go wrong, isn't it?
Can
When
you see
move
that how
things.
checking the pattern is the theme for this whole
Really is.
process, because otherwise it can be a little annoying.
Quite often it is when you've moved something else and it's swished something that
It
you
has.
don't notice. So yeah, just as much as you may have laid it out perfectly in the beginning, it's just keeping an eye on that, making
It
sure
is.
it's still there. And that the pixies haven't come along and skedaddled it.
The little gremolons.
Do though.
So again, just like before, you line that on top and you stitch down that edge.
Fabulous.
As I said before, you're going to make 2 of these exactly the same, and then the second row you're going to make 2 of those as well. So again, triple check as you're going along each block. I know I keep saying that, there's a reason.
There's nothing quite like a block of the month project, John, to be
Exactly.
working on it, and you create these blocks and you put them in. Well, we have a design for a block keeper actually. That's a really nice way to keep the blocks as you work. But then to get them out and put them together, there's something a bit magical about that, isn't there?
There really is.
Bringing it all together. And I think any quilt, when you do that, feels that way. But if it's something that you have done a different block every month and worked on it over a period of time, it's really quite special.
It really is. Do remember when you're doing the FPP, you must decrease your stitch length.
Okay.
The only reason that is an issue is when you come to tear the papers out, if your stitch length isn't small, there is a small chance you might actually then lose your seam.
Oh, we don't want that.
Don't want that.
Well, and also, if your stitch length's really tiny, I suppose it perforates the paper more.
Oh,
makes
it's
that
so much
removal so
easier.
much easier, doesn't it?
And Anne Davies has made these blocks. Oh,
Oh no! Have you played Bobbin Chicken and
no,
lost?
but Bobbin's still there.
Oh, what's happened there then? Is this a turn it off and turn it back on again situation, or were you unthreaded? You
No.
were unthreaded. Let's see, shall we? Now,
Right,
now,
I'm
machine.
going to lay this out again because now I don't know which
Yeah.
way is up and down. Okay, so that's going there.
Beautiful. It's always when you're live, isn't it, that these things happen? You go,
I think it
hang on a
happens in
minute.
my normal
it-
sewing room at the best of times.
Why has it stopped sewing? Why has it done that for me? Why? So, John, are you making as Christmas gifts, or are you just far too busy with designing and such? Oh, is it misbehaving still? Oh, John. I might have to get that Mariella frost strip in to have a look at it. Mariella, are you listening?
As long as I live, I will never understand why a sewing machine unthreads itself.
I know. So every now and again it does it, and it's always at a moment when
Oh, never
really
anything
haven't
important
got
going
time.
on.
Thank you very
Never.
much. I'll
And
give it another go, and if
if
not,
you
we'll
have
forget
actually
that
then,
they're,
oh, for crying out loud, now I've created a knot. Oh, goodness.
Now this is just John showing you that it happens to us all, not just you at home. And what we normally do at this point, John, is we open that little cubby hole, you know, the one where you keep your minstrels or your M&Ms. We have some of them. We turn the sewing machine off, go and make a brew or a gin, and then we come back to it. And normally it's been switched off for a little while, and it's had time to think about what it's done,
Think about what you've done.
and then it behaves again.
Mm-hmm. Right!
Third time lucky, John.
Third time's
Third
the
time
charm,
lucky.
allegedly.
Good, good, good.
Right, only because I've got the machine working, I'm going to do a bit of double-sided working bits here, and I'm going to sew the next piece together,
Nice.
only because machines...
We love a bit of chain piecing.
Who thought you could chain piece sashing strips
I know.
with FPP
I
blocks?
chain piece as much as I can now. It was something that was an alien concept until I started working for Natasha, and then it was like a light was switched on in my head. I love chain piecing. And it saves so much thread, John, if we're going to start frugaling all over the shop. It really does. Time, thread, everything.
Right, so we check where we are
Have a
here,
look and see where we're
make
at.
sure we lay everything out. Everything's going the right direction. And the last piece for this block, you're going to put on there.
Oh, Anne Davies is with us.
Hello,
She says,
Anne.
I'm loving the effect, John. Thank you. I'm trying not to look too closely at the blocks.
Don't be so
Anne,
silly, your blocks are
Did
fine.
you miss the bit where we all said to be kind to yourself? These are lovely, but really...
What I love about Anne was with me at a retreat this weekend.
Oh,
And
I wanted to be there.
I know, next time,
It all
there's
went wrong.
5 next year.
Oh, okay.
So I said to Anne, of all, you might want to go close up on this one.
Oh, wide shot.
That one, yeah.
That one where we can see your face.
Of all the people in the world who's going to tell you if you've done something wrong, I am he. You're fine, stop worrying. And now we have
true.
got
Oh, John.
the first
Swit.
top row.
swoo.
And
Look
if I
at
position this
that.
correctly, can you see where we're going? No, wrong arm.
Wow. That looks fabulous.
Nope, that way. So you can see in the top row, for crying out loud, I've never got this
You're
right.
fine. You're
There,
fine.
there, there,
Gorgeous.
There.
Yeah.
and there.
Good.
So you can see that's what we're doing. You're going to do this 5 times. You're going to make 2 of these exactly the same.
Yes.
The next row you're going to make 2 exactly the same. And then the next one you're going to make 1 of, because it's all that's left. So you put them all together. Please, 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 I don't care if it takes you extra time, go through the picture. Check which direction you're putting everything in, because the biggest mistake you're going to make now is putting it all the wrong way around. And the only reason that's really important is when you get to these middle sections with the EPP, you do not want to be unpicking when you've got all those papers in and everything the right way. So triple check it, make sure it's the right way around, lay it out, put the pattern there. It'll be a pain, I know, but it's a hell of a lot easier than unpicking. Any questions? You've got my email in the pattern. Drop me a line. I am only now looking down so that I can find my foot, because the ladies here love their pins and I don't want one between my foot again.
No.
So we're going to put the shoe back on.
So you piece all your blocks in rows.
Yep. And it's literally, the pattern is very self-explanatory. You're literally creating 5 rows of the FPP and the sashing, 4 rows of the EPP with the sashing, and just take your time. If there is a little bit of an adjustment to do between blocks and between sashings, lay it down, give it a good gentle press. Press, not iron. Press, not iron.
Yes.
Because if you stretch them with an iron, it's going to throw you out as well. But equally, if it does throw you out, that's fine, because all you do then is you just ease the fabric in and out, or the EPP or the FPP block, ease that in over the whole period, over the whole stretch of 10.5 inches. Don't just leave it to the end and create a pleat. And if you do create a pleat, it's warmer in that section of the quilt. So don't beat yourself up about it. You're supposed to
Lovely.
have fun and enjoy yourself.
Get those blocks together.
Yeah, and I need
Do it
photos.
properly, enjoy it as you go.
Exactly.
Then have all the fun with this lovely sashing that's going around the edge.
Exactly. So once you've done that,
Gorgeous
exactly
and
as Gemma said, you've got the bright pink as your first border. You've got the light pink as your second border. Both of these, you put the left and the right hand side down with the smaller pieces, and then you put the larger pieces at the top and the bottom for both borders 1 and 2. Borders 3 is ever so slightly different because you're going to cut the dark green the same size of each one.
Yeah.
You do need to piece them together to get the length. 2 of them, you just put the left-hand side on and the right-hand side on, and I probably did that the wrong way around for your screen, so we'll just say left and right, left and right, left and right. Put that on the first,
Those
and then
sides.
you're
Those
going to
sides.
put these sashing pieces onto the top and the bottom sections. You put 2 sashing squares on each side
Oh,
there.
like cornerstones, nice.
Cornerstones are really subtle on it as well. And then you just put the top on and then the bottom. And that's it. It's really, it is a lot simpler than you think it is. The hard bit has been making all these beautiful blocks. And again, Anne, thank you very much for lending us your blocks. I will return a fully quilted quilt for you at some point in the near future. We'll look at Christmas next year.
Indeed. Oh my gosh.
And there we go. So there will be another video on my YouTube page where I do actually put the whole thing together. Those normally take about 2 or 3 hours. I do not want to bore you all today with that. You've all got other things to be doing. And I've got Kate waiting next door.
And you can get your instructions and your finishing
Exactly.
kit from us now, get it sent to you, and then you'll have it all ready and you'll be able to do it along with you.
As and when. And the digital version will be available within the next hour. And
It
please,
will. We won't let him have any more cake until that's sorted.
it's the lovely world of Microsoft doing updates when you really don't want them
It's
to
a
do
beautiful
updates. So
thing.
apologies
It's a
for that.
beautiful
And again, it's been a very stressful couple of weeks. So
It's
terribly sorry it's not been done
an ideal morning
earlier.
either for you getting
It
up
is
here.
what it
but
is, but
thank you, John.
We all have fun when we do it.
We
That's
do.
the main
We do.
thing.
Thank you.
And then I'm back on the 12th.
You are. You're back with us on
It's
the
my wedding
12th.
anniversary that day.
Is it?
It is. I got married at 12 minutes past 12 in a 12-minute service on the 12th of December 2012.
Wow.
I know, it's mad. 10 years.
Wow, yeah.
And we're not allowed to buy each other gifts anymore.
Oh, really?
Our house is full.
No.
You've seen it.
It is.
We're full.
Yeah, but it's incredible. Like, it's a
10
really
years.
eclectic, beautiful space. I've never seen such an immaculate space that has so much stuff in it. That's
And we have a cleaner now as well, so she's in
Incredible.
today making it all dust-free and
you
tidy
have
and loveliness.
You've got the most amazing collections,
Oh,
both
he's
of you, of
amazing.
just wonderful things that you love.
Mm.
The house is so brilliant, but there's just so many things, and everything's spotless.
It's more spotless now that Emma comes along and does it. I was about to
Well-
call her Emily. I'm like, no, that's not right.
Natasha's daughter.
There's another
Although,
Emily.
Her latest thing is to be cleaning.
Aw.
She loves to clean. She's constantly cleaning.
I love
If
it.
she can't clean, she gets quite upset and cross about not being able
Well,
to
she
clean.
can come to mine any time to clean.
Well, I mean, she clearly takes after her mother, obviously.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Wonderful.
John, thank you.
Thank
will be back on
you.
the 12th
We
next
will
month with
indeed.
something rather beautiful.
It is one of the most beautiful quilts I've made. I am so
It
excited
is
about
a
it.
beauty. We're very excited.
No, it's
about
hideous. You
it.
won't like it at all. Don't
No,
join
no,
us.
no.
No, you won't want it.
No, no. And it'll be Christmassy. So no
It
doubt some
is.
Christmas nonsense from you then. Natasha will be with you on Friday this week, everybody. We have the next in our Pay It Forward series.
Yay.
And then back on Monday for live show.
Isn't it mad?
It's Cyber Monday. I'm just going to say, just to be really clear, Natasha has several deals that she wants to do and possibly some more samples for you tomorrow. Because tomorrow is Wednesday.
What,
So we
I'm
have
asking
them
you
at
because
10
you know the answer to this question. What time do they go live?
Those go live at 10 a.m. on the dot.
10 a.m.
When the
Okay,
show
cool.
starts. So
Fastest finger first.
straight into the collection, and that is where you find them. So join us tomorrow for the show. There will be some samples there. I know this.
They've gone
I'm
already.
just saying. You saw how quickly they went this morning.
They really did.
Make
But they
sure
are
you are
really
with
good
us.
deals.
But
I can't believe that quilt was only $49.99.
I know. Do keep your eye on the fabric clearance page for our bolt end sale. Keep your eye on the last chance to buy section because there's some great kits going
really
in there and
are.
other bits and bobs. Brilliant gifting ideas. And just generally promotions all over the shop. We are trying to give you as much inspiration for your Christmas purchasing and making as possible at the lowest price possible.
Now, I need to ask a really logical question as well while we're
Okay.
doing this.
All right?
Can you pass me that over there?
You can't show everybody.
No, I'm not going to show anybody anything. But everybody, I want to
You're
do
only excited
something.
because you didn't have one last year.
I know,
This.
but I want to show you something. I have a
This.
suggestion.
This.
I have a
Is
suggestion.
this what you want?
Yeah,
This.
yeah. So there may or may not be a little advent calendar out there coming to you. So what I was going to say is on that day, Natasha Makes community page, shall we do a little video every morning of what we're opening on the community page?
I'm just going to
Because
say.
I may or may not.
I'm just going to say we have to approve those posts, and there needs to be a reasonable amount of time for the shift workers. We can't go declaring what's on the first day. If someone has an open mares and then they open it,
Oh,
there'll
no.
be mutiny, won't there?
Don't watch the community makes page until you've opened
Don't
it.
watch John's page through the whole of
No, I want to open them. I love them.
I know, but you'll be telling everyone, look what I got.
Because I got the
Don't
Missouri Star one
look.
as well, and that one is mental.
Don't go on their Facebook, people, unless you've opened your advent calendar. Is the moral of this story.
Agreed. I bought
Open
Andrew
your
his
day,
advent calendar
then go on.
yesterday
Oh, really? Is it gin?
because Candy Kittens don't do an advent calendar.
Oh.
So is it wrong to get 24 bags of Candy Kittens?
Not wrong at all.
No, I don't think so.
I wasn't
either.
sure if it's going to be Lego, because Andrew has
He's got
this
that.
amazing Lego
No, he's got 3
collection.
Lego kits for advent calendars already.
Okay. You've got the most amazing Lego collection. It's incredible. I am waffling. It is 11:30. That
What?
Cafe is
How?
closed. I know, but we have.
Right, I have to
all
go to
that
my
stuff.
shop. My shop, by the way, is open. Sylvia is running it until I get there. Sylvia, I'll be there for 1, hopefully. But I've got to get a double bacon, double egg, double sausage baguette while I still can.
all the things in
All
a
of
baguette,
them,
and
all
then
of
he's
them.
got to jump in the
Probably be
car.
there for 2, Sylvia.
He'll roll his way in a carb and
Carb
fried
induced.
good.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, that's of course if I can get my rental car, which broke down on the way here as well, which doesn't help. What is it with me and cars in the last 2
You know,
years?
technology in general, all of that. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Can I just ask a question before we go? Because
Yeah.
maybe, is oil important for a car?
Yeah, it's quite important. Yeah.
So if the light goes on, you do need to get it
Engine.
fixed.
Engines go bang if you don't have.
Sylvia, I'll be in for 3.
You really need oil.
I know.
Is
do.
your oil
No,
out?
seriously, the service light came on and the oil light came on the way
Okay.
here.
We need to check your oil. Do you know how to do that? I do. I'll go and check your oil. Honestly, who needs a man, eh, girls? Let's all be girl power
Honestly,
about
why
this.
would I'm very good at pointing.
No, I can check your oil. As long as it's part
The
of
funniest
black, we
story
can
I
check
have
your
of my childhood is that my father was teaching me how to do a full service on the car. So I was changing the air filters and the pistons or crankshafts, or these are all words that I know affiliated with an engine. So he sent me off to the car dealer to go and pick up parts for the car.
Yeah.
And the man behind the till said, "What car do you drive?" And I looked at him and dead seriously said, "A white one."
Excellent.
And he said, "No problem at all, give me 2 seconds." And the next thing I looked up, he said, "Sorry, what car was it again?" And he's got his book. And there's this entire audience of every mechanic that ever worked in the little village we lived in. I said, "A white one? I don't know. There it
That
is."
one. That
And
one
I was,
over there.
I know, and then I was being forced to put things in places that I've no, literally spark plugs. Apparently, you've got to have a long thingy to do. I don't know. Sorry,
It's not your bag, John.
it's not my
But
car.
I'd like to see them make quotes. I'd like to see them make
Exactly,
quotes. Just
but I
saying.
would like to know when it's a car that I'm paying a vast amount of money to be delivered, and for every. Why am I filling it up with oil? Really?
There's a man for that.
Exactly.
Or me. I'll go and have a look at your car.
That's all right.
Right.
I've told Avis already. I'm on my way. I'll have a new one, thank you.
John.
But that's what you do when a light goes in. You just go to the new one, please. Is that
I'll have
not
another
right?
car, please.
Yep.
Just because this
Just
one's not working anymore.
Well, it isn't. It's got it's got a broken light on it. I am joking.
On that note, thank you for joining us. I did tell you there would be madness. I wasn't sure which way the madness was going to go.
And
We
now
will
Gemma's a
see you tomorrow
mechanic.
at 10. I'm a mechanic, a plumber, and all other things. So yeah, I am the general shenanigator, and I shall go and shenanigate with John's car. Lots of love to you all. Thank you for joining us. Take care
Bye.
and goodbye.